You settle comfortably in your bed or favorite armchair, feeling the gentle weight of a soft blanket or quilt enveloping you. Outside your window, the sky is still dark, scattered with sleepy stars that begin to fade as the first hint of dawn approaches. A faint breeze rustles the curtains, carrying a subtle hint of the night's cool air mixed with the distant, comforting scent of wood smoke or jasmine. The room around you is quiet, but for the soft rhythm of your breathing and the distant tick of a clock, you become aware of the rise and fall of your chest, each breath slow and steady. With each inhale, you feel the cool air filling your lungs. With each exhale, the tension of the day melts away. Notice how the bed beneath you gives gentle support, the firmness of the mattress under your back, the softness of your pillow cradling your head. A gentle tiredness flows out through your fingers as you relax each part of your body in turn. Your toes, your legs, your hips, your shoulders, and your neck. The only thing you need to do right now is breathe and let go. Your thoughts drift at a slow, meditative pace, like leaves floating on a quiet pond or clouds crossing a golden sky. You hear the faintest sounds of the house waking, perhaps a creak of the old floorboards, a soft whisper of wind through the trees, or the distant hum of a nighttime train. Each sound is steady and comforting. You let these simple, familiar sounds anchor you in the present moment. Imagine yourself slowly waking in another place, as if opening a storybook to a new chapter. Picture a soft, early dawn glow illuminating a serene garden in London. Feel the anticipation of the sun's warmth on your face as it rises. The cares of your day begin to recede, and each breath you take carries you softly toward the bright sky and a garden waiting beyond the window. With each heartbeat and each gentle exhale, you fully arrive in this peaceful morning, ready to begin a gentle journey in wartime London. The new day begins gently. You feel the weight of blankets as they slip from your shoulders and the faint warmth of sunlight brushing across your face. A lazy stretch eases you from sleep. In the quiet of this London morning, you hear a distant church bell ringing the hour, echoing softly across the rooftops. It's early but not too early, a time when everything feels fresh and full of quiet possibility. You sit up slowly, savoring the stillness. The wooden floor beneath your feet is cool and slightly uneven with age, and you notice the soft give of an old rug underfoot. Your bedroom smells faintly of worn linen and a hint of wood smoke from a neighbor's fire. The curtains are made of faded floral fabric with a thick blackout lining. Behind them, you draw aside a corner of the curtain, careful to avoid any crack where light could leak through. Mindful of wartime blackout regulations, gentle morning light filters through the edges. Your house is one of many on a quiet London street. They stand close together, brick and stucco, with small front gardens tucked neatly by the sidewalk. You open the window and lean forward to listen. The air is cool and fresh. Farther down the street, a neighbor calls out a cheery good morning as they step out to sweep their doorstep. Across the way, an old lace curtain is tied with string, someone's last bit of ornate fabric helping to keep out the light. A gentle breeze brings a mix of scents, the sweetness of clean laundry hung to dry on a line, the sharp tang of coal smoke from breakfast fires, and the clean crispness of spring air. You wiggle your toes to wake your feet, roll your shoulders, and prepare for the day. Though London is at war, this morning feels calm and reassuring. Perhaps a distant airplane's hum drifts overhead or a far-off train whistle sounds. But these are just part of the background tapestry of dawn. For now, outside is simply morning, soft golden, and full of gentle promise. You feel grateful to have woken into it. You step outside into the garden, and the cool morning air greets you. The first rays of sun filter through the leaves, creating dappled patterns of light and shadow on the neatly tilled soil. The grass underfoot is soft and slightly damp with dew, tickling your bare feet. The small patch of land behind your house is bursting with green life and hopeful color. You notice row after row of vegetables, bright round cabbages with waxy leaves, lean runner beans trained to climb thin wooden poles, and stubby heads of lettuce nestled among flowering marigolds and sweet peas. A small handmade sign in the ground reads, "Dig for victory, grow more vague." Its paint a bit faded in the sunlight. You smile at how seriously you take this advice here in your own backyard. By the sign's side, carrots with orange shoulders poke from the soil. A ruby-red radish nuzzles up near the sign as if offering itself to the cause. From the corner of your eye, you spot a ladybird crossing a stone, its tiny red back with black spots, bright as a poppy. Butterflies flit overhead, and a honeybee hums as it visits a lavender flower. Everything feels slightly magical in the morning haze, as if nature is putting on a quiet show just for you. The back of your house faces this little haven. Its brick walls are latticed with ivy and honeysuckle vines, and the window sills are painted pale blue, worn by sun and weather. Lace curtains are drawn just enough to let morning light in, though heavy blackout flaps behind the panes remain down. A single wooden door stands slightly ajar, letting a warm beam spill onto the stone patio. Nearby, a wooden bench painted soft green holds a tin box of garden tools and a coil of hemp rope. On its seat, potted geraniums burst with bright scarlet flowers, adding another splash of color to the scene. The air smells of damp earth, fresh mint, and the faint sweetness of roses in bloom. A slight breeze carries comforting fragrances, the sourdough bread baking somewhere down the street, and the woody tang of chopped logs from a neighbor's stove. You lean in and inhale deeply, letting these homely scents fill your senses. You reach down and touch the cool soil with your fingers, feeling its crumbly texture, and pat it gently round the tender roots of a basil plant. Each grain of earth and speck of compost connects you to the ground and the life it nurtures. Nearby, a robin flits down onto the fence and tilts its head at you bright-eyed. It chirps as if sharing secrets with you, and you whistle a simple greeting back. Pip, the calico cat, is stretched lazily on a warm paving stone in the shade. She flicks her tail slowly at your presence, as though deciding whether to move or stay. Even the distant city sound seems subdued. You hear only a far-off clatter of a milk cart and the muted rumble of a morning tram beyond the rooftops. For a moment, the busy city feels far away, replaced only by the gentle content of this garden. In the distance, you spot the silhouette of Anne, old Anderson's shelter half buried under a mound of earth. It is now covered with grass and wildflowers, a quiet monument to history in your own backyard. A pair of sparrows peers out from behind. You pause and take in the sight, and even that shelter seems almost tranquil now, transformed by plants. You stand for a long moment, taking it all in. Sunlight continues to warm your shoulders, and the gentle breeze caresses your face. The garden feels alive all around you, life sprouting at every corner, singing with birdsong and buzzing with insects. Despite the war beyond the fences, this little garden feels calm and safe. In this moment, you feel a quiet triumph. These plants have grown strong with your care, and this patch of earth is a small refuge of life in wartime London. You begin your morning routine among the garden beds, carrying an old metal watering can in each hand. You move slowly between the rows of plants. The sound of water splashing softly onto the soil is soothing in the quiet of the morning. You feel the warmth of the sun rising on your back as you tend each plant. You reach the far corner bed and gently water the young potatoes and carrots. As the cool water seeps into the ground, you see tiny streams glisten and disappear into the earth. You pause to admire the delicate curve of a young sprout unfurling in the gentle light, its surface shining in the sun. After finishing the last plant, you gather a small harvest of fresh herbs, mint, lemon balm, and parsley from the kitchen garden. The soft green leaves are fragrant between your fingers, releasing a citrusy scent when crushed. You tuck them carefully into a cloth bag to take inside later. A robin lands on the fence above and tilts its head at you curiously as you work. It chirps a cheerful greeting as if to say thank you for the feast of seeds earlier, and you respond with a soft whistle. Nearby, a silvery butterfly flutters by, pausing on a lavender blossom as if for a sip of nectar. These small visitors seem as much a part of your morning as the chores themselves, and they bring a gentle smile to your face. Now you move to a simpler task. With a broom in hand, you sweep the flagstones where dew has collected, clearing away stray leaves and petals that fell overnight. The rhythmic swish of the broom is calming, and you feel the slightly uneven stones under the bristles. A gentle breeze carries the scent of lavender and thyme across the patio. On a bench nearby, a pair of gardening gloves and a wide-brimmed hat lie waiting. You slip off your coat and put on the hat to shield your head from the warm sun. Nearby, an old wooden table and 2 chairs stand under a leafy grapevine. This is where you will soon sit for your morning tea. You set down the broom and arrange a sturdy cast-iron teapot on the table. Inside the house, the small coal stove is still warm from breakfast. You carry out a tin of hot water and pour it into the teapot. The teapot hisses softly as it heats on the iron table. The aroma of the steaming herbal brew soon fills the air. You mix in a tiny spoon of sugar, precious, but today a treat, and let the mixture steep while you prepare the rest of the table. As the tea steeps, you tidy up the little patio. You brush your gloves off on the brim of your hat, roll up the sleeves of your shirt, and gently stack an empty clay pot with the others in a neat pile. Nearby, a waiting bag of vegetable seeds is ready for planting, and you carefully knock the remaining soil from your hands back into the beds. With each small task completed, you feel the calm of the garden and the satisfaction of a job well done. Finally, you pour the hot tea into your favorite enamel mug and carry it out to the bench. You sit down under the lilac bush whose purple blooms gently sway above you, and lift the mug to your lips. The tea is warm and fragrant with mint and chamomile. You sip it slowly, allowing the warmth to spread through your body and relax you. Pip hops into your lap with a contented meow, and you laugh softly as you scoop her up. She purrs as you stroke her silky fur. For a while, you simply sit and savor each peaceful moment. The garden seems to breathe with you, each leaf rustling in tune with your calm. When your cup is empty and the breeze lifts a strand of hair from your face, you gently set the mug aside. Refreshed and content, you rise from the bench, carrying this sense of quiet calm with you as the day continues. After tea, you return to a few small chores. You had planned to add extra sugar to your next cup, a sweet little treat, but when you peek in the cupboard, you discover the sugar ration tin is empty. No sugar left at all. You smile and accept it with a shrug. In wartime, even sugar is precious. You decide not to let this spoil your morning. Instead, you pick a few extra sprigs of mint from the garden and a thin slice of lemon from the counter, creating a refreshing herbal tea that tastes surprisingly bright and crisp without sugar. Sometimes improvising brings unexpected joy. Turning back to the beds, you notice another small challenge. One corner of the garden is a bit drier than the rest. Yesterday's gentle rain must not have soaked it well. The soil there is hard and cracked. You kneel down and gently break the crust on the ground, letting fresh air into the earth. Just then, a light drizzle of rain begins to fall, soft drops drumming a lullaby on the leaves. You see the soil darken and sigh relief. You scoop up a handful of the now moistened earth and feel it crumble easily. A few small creatures, a snail and a ladybug, emerge from under a leaf to forage in the damp soil. You smile, feeling glad the rain is helping. Still, you resolve to water this patch extra tomorrow. As you straighten up, you remember another minor task: checking the blackout curtains at home. You step inside and find that the lining is slightly askew at one window. You gently retuck it into place, securing the edges with a bit of tape. In wartime, a well-secured curtain means better sleep without worry of light leaks or street lamps attracting attention. You smile to yourself for catching it now. A small task, but done now rather than later, saves trouble. The day's challenges have all been very minor: finished sugar, thirsty soil, a loose curtain. You take each in stride with calm patience. None of them disturbed your peace. In fact, solving them feels satisfying. Small victories like these are reassuring. You stand in your garden and take it all in. The lettuce perked up again, the tea tasted just fine, and the window will do its job tonight. Even in wartime London, life feels manageable and kind. You feel a quiet pride in your resourcefulness and in how well your garden has thrived today. The gentle rhythms of your day have brought comfort and hope, and you are reminded that even small acts can make things better. Later in the morning, you exchange soft hellos with your neighbors. Over the fence, Mrs. Harding tends her rosebush and greets you with a gentle smile. She holds out a handful of marigold seeds she saved from last year's harvest. You lean down and accept the packet with a grateful nod, promising to plant them near the carrots. She looks up at the sky and says simply, "Lovely day for gardening, isn't it?" You agree with a warm laugh, and she returns to her flowers humming an old lullaby. A bit down the street, Mr. Turner is sweeping his sidewalk. He tips his flat cap at you and calls, "Morning, love," in a friendly tone. You wave back with a smile, and he goes back to his chores, humming a cheerful tune under his breath. Birdsong fills the air all around you. In a quiet moment, a little robin hops forward at your feet, tilting its head curiously as it waits for crumbs. You break off a piece of leftover wholemeal bread and crumble it onto the patio. The robin chirps delightedly as it pecks at the crumbs, and soon a pair of sparrows scurry over to join in. A blue tit darts out from a bush to catch a flying crumb, and a gray pigeon struts across the lawn pecking at seeds. You watch these small birds busy at their feast, feeling a gentle companionship with them as if nature itself is keeping you company. Your cat Pip strolls into view and weaves between your ankles, her tail tip-flicking in delight. She meows softly and looks up at you with expectant eyes. You scoop her into your lap and stroke her soft fur. She purrs as you gently scratch behind her ears, kneading your knee with her paws. After a while, Pip hops down to chase a drifting leaf that twirls in the breeze, her tail high with adventure. You watch her playful leaps and feel a warm chuckle escape you at how carefree she seems. A short distance away, Mr. Turner has finished watering and comes to the fence with a ripe tomato in hand. "For your dinner," he says, handing it to you with a grin. You thank him, delighted, and comment that you'll make good use of it in a hearty stew later. Another neighbor, Mrs. O'Neill, peeks out from her back door carrying a basket of laundry. "Garden growing nicely." She nods at you with a soft smile. You wave back, telling her you're glad it brought you joy. Everyone here shares the same quiet understanding. Out here in the garden, you're all peaceful friends facing the same sky. All around, the afternoon is warm and the garden feels alive with friendliness. The neighborhood and nature have both shown their gentle, caring sides today. These simple connections, the friendly greetings from neighbors, the satisfied chirps of birds, and the affectionate companionship of Pip warm your heart. They remind you that even during hard times, kindness and community still blossom. With a contented smile, you continue your day, grateful for the quiet company on this peaceful morning. By late morning, you revisit the garden beds for another round of care. The sun is higher now, its golden rays warming your skin as you move from plant to plant. You notice a patch of lettuce on the edge of a bed that looks wilted. Kneeling down, you examine it carefully and gently cradle each leaf. You scoop up a watering can and pour water generously around its roots. Moments later, the leaves lift and firm up. Nearby, a cluster of pea vines has grown together in a jumble. You carefully untangle them and guide each tendril back onto its support. Your fingers work methodically, tying a vine with a bit of garden twine, each snap of the knot satisfying. Default text next, you decide it's time for a quick lunch break. You carry a bowl of vegetable stew from the kitchen out to the garden table. The stew is hearty and fragrant. Diced potatoes, carrots, and peas from this very garden, seasoned with a bit of salt and those fresh herbs you collected earlier. Sitting in the shade of the grapevine, you savor each warm spoonful. The gentle breeze carries the scent of cooking herbs mixed with the floral perfume of honeysuckle. Church bells strike 12 in the distance, their deep notes echoing through the neighborhood. You close your eyes for a moment, listening to the quiet accompaniment of your midday meal. Lunch done, you return to your tasks refreshed. You fetch a pair of sharp garden shears and trim the overgrown rose bush, carefully cutting away dead blossoms and any branches growing too wildly. Each snip of the shears is steady and purposeful. You move on to the tomato plants and gently tie their stems to bamboo stakes to help support the ripening fruit. Over by the garlic bed, you notice a few stray weeds and pluck them out by hand. Each focused motion, the pruning, the tying, the weeding, feels almost meditative. A bumblebee buzzes nearby, and you stop for a moment to watch it gather nectar from a crimson dahlia. It flits away into the sunlight as you continue your work. The afternoon sun has started to lower in the sky, and you pour fresh water into the kettle for a second round of tea. You set the tea kettle on the stove and carry out the mugs and some cookies on a tray. Settling once more on the bench under the lilac bush, you pull your knees up and sip the freshly brewed mint tea. The warmth of the mug in your hands is soothing. In the distance, you hear a soft radio melody drifting through an open window and a child's laughter from next door. These sounds, along with the rustling leaves, blend into a gentle backdrop. The garden feels in perfect harmony with you now. Enjoying this break, you watch shadows slowly lengthen across the beds. The rhythm of watering and pruning, of cooking and resting with a cup of tea, has given your day a gentle order. With each chore you perform and each sip you take, you feel more present and at peace. A soft smile spreads across your face as you look at the neat rows and blooming flowers. The afternoon continues to unfold calmly, exactly as it should. As the day moves on, you notice a gentle change in the sky. Puffy white clouds gather, drifting in from the west, softening the golden sunlight. A cool breeze stirs the leaves overhead. You pause in your task and lift your face to the air, feeling the subtle shift in temperature. It's still warm, but there's suddenly a crisp edge to the day, as if the garden itself is exhaling a soft sigh of relaxation. The breeze stirs the blossoms. Tall foxgloves lean their heads under its touch and tendrils of ivy dance along the brick wall. Even the robin's song quiets as he takes cover among the branches. The once still birdbath pond now holds gentle ripples where water drips from a leaf. You listen, and even the sparrows seem slightly hushed, settling into the bushes. In the distance, a church bell tolls softly once, mingling with the gentle patter of early raindrops. Soon the first warm drop of rain lands on your palm. You lift your face to welcome the raindrop. It's a soft surprise on your skin, sweet and clean. The rain comes lightly, each drop a tiny blessing. All around, plants brighten under its touch. The air fills with the rich earthy scent of rain hitting warm soil, that familiar petrichor that feels like a warm memory. You smile and feel grateful for the cool refreshment. A thirsty sparrow hops to the birdbath's edge and splashes in joyously. Nearby, a ladybug takes flight from a leaf, doing a little joyful flip in the air. You remain quiet and still, letting the rain envelope you, each droplet washing away any subtle tension. Under this gentle shower, the garden is transformed. Dark green leaves shine with luster, and petals of fading blooms bow gracefully under the steady drizzle. Tiny frogs emerge from hiding and croak softly into the grass. Each drop of rain that clings to a leaf is like a crystal jewel. You decide to stay under the grapevine canopy, feeling the earth cool under the soft rain. You close your eyes for a moment, breathing slowly with the steady rhythm of the rain's patter. Each drop above creates a quiet lullaby. This weather brings a gentle introspection. You realize you feel a soft contentment wash over you, like the garden, you to feel refreshed and alive. Watching the rain cleanse everything around you, you find hope. As you look up, A faint rainbow begins to arch across the sky as the sun peeks through a break in the clouds. You can almost hear a child's laughter in the rainbow's colors. This quiet magic, small and fleeting, reminds you that beauty can appear even after a storm. You open your eyes and smile, feeling ready to welcome whatever comes next, knowing that even this gentle change has brought new life and promise. Now seated on the bench under the lilac bush, you close your eyes and breathe deeply, feeling the cool, evening air on your warm cheeks. Your body is pleasantly tired from the day's work. Your arms carry a gentle ache from all the watering and pruning, and your legs feel comfortably stiff from kneeling and bending. Yet this tiredness feels good. It is the satisfying soreness of a day well spent. Each breath you take is slow and easy, and you notice the gentle beating of your heart. Steady and calm like the garden's pulse, the warmth of earlier now drifts from your skin, leaving a soft coolness that helps you relax further. Physically, every part of you feels alive. You wiggle your toes inside your slippers to wake them and stretch. Your arms overhead to release the tension from those morning chores. Your fingers still faintly smell of mint and soil. Your fingers still faintly smell of mint and soil. You feel the smooth grain of the wooden bench under your hands. A soft smile forms as you realize how much strength and endurance you have. Emotionally, you feel safe and at peace. A warm feeling bubbles in your chest from today's small joys. The robin's morning song, Mrs. Harding's friendly smile, and the soft purr of Pip by your side. Even the gentle rain earlier feels like a calm hug. There might be a hint of wistfulness when you remember loved ones far away, but it is gentle, almost like missing a friend you'll see tomorrow. The gratitude for this moment overshadows any sadness. You remind yourself of the poem you heard on the radio this afternoon, with its promise that dark nights eventually end. You hold on to that hope now. For now, the garden holds your full attention and nothing else matters. You are healthy, you have worked with your own hands, and you have a warm home to return to. You feel thankful for this tranquil moment. The ache in your muscles is a reminder of all you've done, and you wear it like a badge of honor. The gentle rain and now the twilight make you feel alive yet calm. A soft smile comes to your lips as you soak in these feelings of safety and gratitude. In this peaceful pause, your body and spirit feel aligned, and you are simply thankful to be here in this quiet corner of London. Later, you step inside for a moment to adjust the small radio perched on the windowsill. The wireless crackles to life through the static. A warm announcer's voice begins to speak softly. It sounds like a BBC broadcast. You catch the end of a weather forecast, and then an announcement, and now, a reading of a poem from a London poet. The announcer's tone is calm and kind. He reads a stirring stanza about home and hope, phrases about night giving way to dawn and loved ones thinking of each other. Though you don't catch every word, the sentiment reaches you deeply. The voice is steady, each line wrapped in quiet confidence. Outside, a nearby church bell begins to toll for a clock, its clear, reverent notes filling the quiet house. The bell's sound blends with the broadcast inside. One is ancient and soulful, the other a warm spoken word. After the poem reading, the radio transitions into a soft melody, the opening strains of a familiar wartime song. Soon you hear we'll meet again. Don't know where, don't know when. Vera Lynn's gentle singing carries a promise of reunion and light after darkness. You hum along quietly, heart swelling with the hopeful words. For a few moments, you sit in peaceful silence. The mixture of voices, one from the radio, one from the bell, seems to bless the room. The house is still around you, only the distant hum of a late trolley and the occasional creak of an old chair break the silence. The morning's chores and the day's worries feel very far away now. Safe in this moment of shared culture, you let the words and music wash over you. You feel comforted by these reminders of beauty and perseverance. With a deep sigh, you appreciate how radio and ritual, music, and memory all carry you gently through this wartime day. After the rain, as the clouds part, a faint rainbow arcs across the sky above your garden. You stand and watch the colors bend over the rooftops, each band soft and slightly blurred by the mist. It feels almost Magical to see this in wartime London. The sun peeks out again, and for a few moments the whole garden is bathed in an iridescent light. You tilt your head up, closing your eyes, and let the subtle colors wash over you. A quiet reminder that beauty can appear when you least expect it. On the patio, droplets clinging to the leaves catch the sunlight like tiny prisms, casting rainbows on the brick wall. You notice a small puddle forming on the flagstones and kneel to take a closer look. In the smooth pool of water, the world is momentarily turned upside down. You see the reflection of the sky and your own smiling face mingling together, shimmering with the colors of the rainbow. It's as if another universe lies beneath the surface, perfectly mirrored in that little puddle. Nearby, a stray black and white cat pads through the garden. It pauses at a flower bed and delicately sniffs a rose. When it lifts its head, a raindrop on its nose glistens in the sun, making it look as if the cat is wearing a tiny jeweled tiara. You gently blow on the cat's nose, and she flits it forward like it's a toy, then purrs and rubs against your leg. For a moment, it seems as if she too is enchanted by this afternoon's gentle magic. You crouch by the puddle again, gazing at the reflection. Above, an arching branch looks in the water like the silhouette of a graceful dancer reaching toward the sky. You smile at how your mind shapes these random patterns into small stories. Even the stray leaves drifting down into the water become boats sailing on a tiny glassy sea. The simple surprises of light and shadow, reflection and color fill you with wonder. For a few moments, you simply allow these sights to wash over you. The faint rainbow overhead, the playful reflection, and the cat's quiet visit all feel like shared secrets between you and the garden. These curious little scenes remind you of life's gentle whimsy. Even here, with hardship around you, it is heartening to find such moments of magic. You rise with a lightness in your step, feeling as though the garden itself has shared a joyful secret with you. The sun begins its slow descent toward the rooftops, painting the sky in soft pastels of rose and gold. You realize the day is gently ending as you step back into the garden one last time. The air has cooled considerably now. You feel a crisp freshness on your skin as the heat of the afternoon fades. There's a sense of closure in the air, as if the garden itself is winding down and settling in for the night. You take a moment to turn off the tap by the rain barrel. The outdoor chores are done, and even the small drip of water has stopped in the quiet. Shrubs and trees cast long shadows across the lawn. A robin flutters onto a low branch and sits quietly, as if tucking itself in for the night. A hedgehog emerges from behind a rose bush, snuffling about for one last insect meal before it disappears under the pile of leaves to sleep. You smile at these evening visitors, each following its own routine, just like you will soon follow yours. Somewhere in the distance, the final call of a blackbird echoes and a lone owl hoots softly as twilight deepens. You gather in the tools and tuck away the watering cans. Near the door, you hang your garden hat on its peg and brush off your gloves. From inside, you carry a steaming mug of chamomile tea back out onto the bench. The lantern on the patio flickers to life, casting a warm, dancing glow on the flowers. You settle onto the bench and wrap your hands around the warm mug, savoring the herbal aroma. Across the garden, the sunset glow fades, and the first stars begin to twinkle overhead. The city beyond is almost silent now under the blackout regulations. Streetlights are off, and only a few stars peek through the dusky sky. The garden is hushed, save for the gentle night chorus, crickets trilling in the grass, a distant tabby calling softly to her kittens, and the rustle of leaves in the breeze. You breathe in deeply, smelling faintly the jasmine blooming down the street and the cool scent of earth. Each flower and leaf around you seems to hold its breath as darkness settles. You take a long sip of tea and feel a wave of tranquility. The flowers and leaves around you are now cool to the touch, and they look almost silver blue in the lantern light. As the twilight deepens, a quiet pride and gratitude fill you. This garden has thrived under your care today, and you have done your part. You feel the ache in your muscles, a sign of a day fully lived, wear it like a medal A crescent moon rises softly in the sky, and a single evening star winks at you from above. You take one last look at the lantern-lit path and the peaceful garden. With a full heart, you rise from the bench, ready to carry the gentle peace of this day back inside with you. The sky outside your window has deepened to navy blue. You step inside slowly, feeling the warmth of home all around you. In the kitchen, the day's simple supper is ready on the table. A bowl of leftover vegetable stew with fresh bread. You take a few bites, savoring the familiar flavors and feeling satisfied. A lone candle flickers in the window, casting a soft glow, and the house is quiet and cozy. After dinner, you move slowly through the rooms, tidying here and there. On the windowsill sits your small radio, now silent, but you leave it plugged in so its warm glow awaits the morning. In the living room, you drape a soft blanket around your shoulders as you sit for a moment, gazing out at the garden which lies peaceful under the lantern's light. The flowers now bow under the moon's gaze, and you whisper a silent thank you for this day's beauty. When you finally climb into bed, you change into comfortable night clothes and pull the covers up to your chin. Your body feels pleasantly tired and your mind feels gently full of the day's memories. You lie on your side and replay a few favorite scenes in your mind. A robin's cheerful trill, Mrs. Harding's laughter, the soft patter of rain like a lullaby. Each memory brings a quiet joy. You take a deep breath in and then breathe out long and slow. Outside, the city is dark, but the star you traced earlier has vanished below the horizon. You feel safe and contented, carrying the garden's calm inside you. Your eyelids grow heavy. In the quiet you hear only your steady breathing. You smile softly, whispering good night to the garden and the world beyond. Tomorrow will bring a new day, but for now, you drift into sleep, rocked by the gentle peace of this wartime garden morning made anew in your mind.